Hello, Leominster friends. My name is Natalie Higgins. I'm your state representative, newly elected and appointed in January of this year. We've been trying a lot of different things to give you better access to me and to the State House, and this Access TV show is going to be one of those ways. We also have early morning hours rotating throughout the city, evening hours at the library on Mondays from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And I'm hoping that I get a chance to meet you. And if you have ideas for this show, please reach out to me, people you'd like me to bring on. We're going to be bringing on someone from Leominster locally and someone I work with at the state level for each 30-minute episode. But this first episode is going to be a special episode. We've got a special election in Ward 2 to fill the very big shoes left by the passing of Councillor Wayne Nickel. And I'm really excited to have 3 of the 4 candidates for the Ward 2 City Council race here today. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will have the first of the candidates. Okay, so we're back with Pauline Cormier. We're going to ask every candidate the same 5 questions, and they have 60 seconds to answer. So when they hit the 60-second mark, I'm going to be politely wrapping them up. So Pauline, why did you decide to run for the Ward 2 City Council seat?
Well, I've always been an activist in the community. I've always been really involved. And it's funny, as I used to talk politics with Wayne Nickel a lot. And he used to always encourage me to go into politics. So I used to tease him and always say, well, Wayne, when you're ready to step down, you let me know. Right. And unfortunately, with his passing, the seat became available. And at that point, I knew it was my time. It was my time to step up. I love Ward 2. I've lived in that community, and I want to be the representative for Ward 2.
Great, thank you. So what makes you the best choice in this special election?
Well, first and foremost, I've lived in Leominster my whole life. I've lived on 3rd Street in the middle of Ward 2 my entire life. So I have a lifetime of experience of what it's like to live in Leominster and to live in Ward 2. I was also a member, one of the founding members of the East Side Neighborhood Association. I've been its vice president for 25 years. And I've seen the power of what a community can do when its residents get together and really work to a common goal. I'm also visible to the community. I'm accessible. My office is right on Mechanic Street, right in the middle of Ward 2.
Okay.
And I have the drive and the desire to fulfill this role and to be their voice.
Great, thank you for that. So what are some of the issues facing Ward 2 that you hope to prioritize?
I think my top priority would be for our senior citizens and for our veterans. I think it's really important that we're able to keep them in their homes. And to do that, we need to be really careful with our taxes, with our sewer and water rates. These people help to make Leominster what it is today, and I think they need our support now. Another big issue for me is the absentee landlords and the abandoned buildings. It's not just Ward 2, it's throughout the city. We need to hold these landlords accountable, and these vacant buildings are a blight on our neighborhoods, and it costs the city money. As far as education goes, we have such a diverse group of kids in our schools. We need to make sure these teachers and these administrators have the resources they need. I would like to see our streets be a little safer. Let's pay attention when we're driving. And our sidewalk maintenance. Those would be my big issues.
Great, thank you. So what would make you feel your first term as city councilor was a success?
Success for me, and I'll bring up Wayne Nickel again. If people were to say to me, geez, Pauline was able to pick up right where Wayne left off. I mean, he was such an advocate for our ward. He had such a good working, he just worked really well with all the aspects of our city government. He was that connection.
Right.
So I want to work towards making that connection as well. My slogan has been to be the voice of Ward 2. I want to be that voice. I want to be that liaison, and I want to make those connections and be able to work with our city government to help the entire city of Leominster and Ward 2.
Great, great. So is there anything surprising that you found out about Leominster after you began your campaign?
Actually, to be honest, is the size of Ward 2. I didn't realize how big and how diverse Ward 2 is. And each precinct within the ward has their own neighborhoods. They have their own concerns. They have their own needs. So that was surprising to me. And also the time that I spent walking the wards and meeting people, I am humbled by how gracious people are. They welcomed me into their house. They took a few minutes out of their day, and they're willing to engage, and not just to complain, but to really engage in a conversation, address the needs, and even offer some really great suggestions of how to make those changes and how to bring about that change.
That's so great. So we have Pauline Cormier's contact information on the screen. If you want to get in touch with her, if you want to learn more, please reach out to her. I know, speaking as a candidate myself, that was really important to be able to connect with our voters. Thank you so much. We're going to take another break, and we're going to bring on the next candidate.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pauline. So we're back with the next candidate, Nate Fontaine. So Nate, why did you decide to run for Ward 2 City Council?
Well, I was born and raised in Leominster, Mass. And due to the unfortunate passing of Wayne Nichols, I saw an opportunity to run for City Council and build upon what he has built in the community and put a modern perspective on it.
Great. Wayne Nichols has been such an influence on so many people. Yeah. What makes you the best choice in this special election?
Well, I feel like I can bring I'm a fresh new face in politics, and I feel like I can bring a modern perspective to Leominster, bringing modern jobs such as like solar panel factories. By doing this, by teaching our students how to work on these types of projects, we'll be investing in the future, and new tech companies would like to come in.
Awesome. So what are some of the issues facing Ward 2 that you want to prioritize?
Some of the issues facing Ward 2 that I'd like to prioritize are there's public safety issues. Recently there was a kid killed up on Mechanic Street, and nothing has been done to mitigate the issue. There's still no sidewalks there, and people still tend to speed down that street. So I'd like to see those issues addressed and fixed. There's
No, go ahead. This is just a conversation between the two of us.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would make you feel your first time as city councilor was a success?
I feel like my first time of success would be if the people of Ward 2 felt like their voices were heard. Not everyone can attend City Hall meetings, but that doesn't mean that they don't have concerns that need to be addressed in the City Hall, and I'd like to be their voice in Ward 2 and all Leominster. And I plan on doing this by being accessible, either email, phone, social media, or even going door to door.
Yeah. Is there anything surprising, last question, that you've learned about Leominster since you began your campaign?
Well, I've realized that everyone in Leominster wants pretty much the same exact thing. They want to see their community thrive. They want to see their neighbors thrive. They want to see their children thrive. So the message is all the same from everyone I talk to. They just want the best for their community.
Great. Yeah. So your contact information is going to be on the screen, so that anyone who wants to talk to Nate Fontaine, please reach out to him. Again, candidates really want to talk to you, really want to hear what you're interested in, and make sure that you have your voice heard, because they're here wanting to listen to you. So we're going to take another break and then bring on the last candidate. Thank you. So we're here with our last candidate who's going to join us here today in the studio, Ronnie Houle, and we're going to go through the same 5 questions. So Ron, why did you decide to run for Ward 2 City Council?
Well, I just felt that because of my experience, I just felt that it was the next step. It would be a seamless transition from being on a school committee to being on a city council. And people who know me know that I'm all about the health, education, and welfare of the students, the parents, the teachers, and everyone in the city. That's what I do. I've been in the public health, public face for 30 odd years, and I have to say what it is. That's all.
Okay, great. What makes you the best choice in this special election?
My experience, about city affairs, public affairs, uh, speaking in public, because I have to do it on a daily basis. You know, yes, the palms of my hands sweat. I get nervous sometimes, but this is what I do. I have to tell the truth, and this is my experience. That's what it is.
Great. So what are some of the issues that you're hoping to prioritize as the Ward 2
The
City
issues
Councilor?
for the ward's in transition. Every day when I'm either riding my bike or driving my car, there are new people moving in and out on a daily basis. And I introduce myself, getting people to realize the city does care about them. You know. The other thing is being able to make this, I know I sound like I'm repeating myself, the city, I feel, has to be made more, it already is, but to another extent, to be made more transparent for the needs of the city. Because we have it's a service-based city. And I'd like to have more jobs that are not just service-based.
Okay. Okay. What would make you feel your first term as city councilor was a success?
If I get reelected, because as soon as I get elected, I have to get sworn in, and then I got to pull papers to run for the general election in November. So that's, you know, and I would just keep on going. The biggest thing I want to do is, as you can tell, I got my dog tag here. I think everyone who runs or for any office should have their dog tags when they're going from house to house. It's very important because, yes, there are some people, they won't open up their doors and you know they're there. And somehow something has to be put in the papers that, you know, these people, men and women who are running for office, they just want to reach out and talk with you, introduce themselves. They're not here to make life miserable for you, you know? That's just one of those things.
Sure. Okay, one last question. Is there anything surprising you've learned about Leominster since you began campaigning?
Well, the people that generally were thrilled to find out that I was running for office, for the city council office. And secondly, the most disappointing, finding out there are some people who are registered voters, but when they went to vote, they were turned down because they hadn't filled out those papers that, you know, we get by mail.
The census.
Yeah. And that worries me, because if I met 5, there had to be more than 5 people out there, and they were very, very upset. And I tried telling them, you know, all you do is show your driver's license. But one person told me that he didn't know why he got turned down, and I had no explanation for him. That's just one of the many surprises that I had.
Okay.
That's it. I don't have anything else. I wish I could baffle my way through, but
Sure.
it is what it is.
So we have your contact information up on the screen. So for folks who want to get in touch with you,
Yes.
can reach out. Please reach out. This is the best way for you to get to know the candidates and to make an educated decision when you're voting on May 9th. The election is May 9th. So thank you, Ronnie, for taking the time.
I'm very happy to come.
And we're going to just talk about the last candidate after we take a special break and then let you know what's going on with the 4th candidate. So we do have a 4th candidate for the Ward 2 special election for City Council, Brian Harper. Unfortunately, Brian could not join us today, but he is making the answers to the same 5 questions that all of the candidates answered earlier available on his Facebook page. You can access that page by the link that's provided on the screen. So please go out and do your research, learn about the candidates, and Ward 2 city members, get out and vote on May 9th. I just want to thank you all for tuning in. This is just the first episode of Representing Leominster, and I'm excited to see it grow, to be able to bring on so many people and have some really great conversations. So please stay tuned. It's going to be on the same channel, usually at the same time. And if you have any questions or concerns, we're going to put up our contact information so you can get in touch with me and just share any of your ideas, your thoughts. Reach out. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much, and see you again soon.